Being an indie author is so much fun. I absolutely love it. But there are some hard truths that I'm not sure you want to hear. And I don't know if anybody's really talking about it. Hi, my name is Jennifer Gregson, and I am a young adult indie author who has 3 books out on the market right now. And I am currently working on my very first urban fantasy series that is set in New York, which is where I live. The reason that I chose indie author as sort of my writing journey instead of trying to be traditionally published is because I love the freedom. I get control over so much. I get control over how my books look on the inside because I format everything. I get control over what the book cover looks like, either because I hire the designer and work very closely with them, or, spoiler, I make the cover myself, which is what I'm doing for my urban fantasy series. I love having the control and the freedom and the ability to be creative. And that part is all great, but it is not all sunshine and rainbows. The hard truth, number one, is that you are your own marketing team. So, this is definitely in my con list, but I am getting better at it and I am getting a better mindset around it. But when you are traditionally published, your publisher will have a PR team or a marketing team to at least guide you. You may still have to do some of the work. You may still have to create graphics, and you are going to have to hustle and find readers on your own as well. But having some sort of PR team or marketing team behind you is definitely going to help. When you're an indie author, you are doing it on your own. You are creating all the graphics. You are trying to find all of the opportunities. You are trying to figure out the marketing strategy. You are trying to figure out when to post and where to post and how to use social media and what's a newsletter. And that is all on you. And like I said, I have said in many, many videos that it is one of the things that I feel like I'm still not getting quite right. And it is one of those things as an indie author that it does sort of fall all on our shoulders for good and for bad. Hard truth number 2, sales are unpredictable. Now, I don't know a ton about traditionally publishing in this regard, but I know there is something called an advance. So the publishers will think, okay, we're going to sell so many units or so many books, and they give you an advance so the writer gets money up front. I think that's still how it works. That's how it used to work back when I was making my decision. With indie, it's not like that. You get the money when you sell the book, and sales can be predictable. You can have an amazing launch. You can get a crap ton of page reads. You can get everyone and their brother to buy your book, and then 2 months later, it's crickets. It is a very up and down sort of situation. You can't really rely on it, especially at the beginning. Yes, it can be an exciting. Yes, you are going to get some money, but it's not going to be like, oh, hey, here's a big fat check as an advance. Hard truth number 3 is that imposter syndrome never goes away. Now, this may also be the case for traditionally published, but back when I first started, indie publishing was still kind of looked at as this not so great option. It has gotten so much better, even in the few years since my first book. But there's still a part of me that's like, would I feel better if I had tried to go traditional, if I had been chosen by an agent, if I had been chosen by a book publisher? And that is just fear. It's not the truth. I am so thankful that I chose the path of indie authorhood. But sometimes there is that little tiny voice, especially when I'm doubting my ability, or I'm doubting my marketing, or I am doubting the way the chapter is going when I'm writing, that says, would you feel better if you had been traditionally published? And usually I can sit with those feelings and realize no, but the imposter syndrome really doesn't go away. I can work with it. I can get it to quiet down. I can power through. I can get on with it and feel much better, but it is still prevalent. Hard truth number 4 is that being an indie author means that success is going to look different for everybody, and that's okay. But it's a hard truth because we see traditionally published authors and their big success is getting an agent. That's like success 1, check. Getting the publisher, success number 2, check. Getting that advance, getting the book in the bookstores, getting on the New York Times bestseller list, right? They kind of have a path that's laid out for them, whereas we don't. And again, that's the exciting part, but it's also a hard truth because you have to determine what does success look like to you, right? When I published my first book, my success literally was to sell 5 copies. I was just excited that somebody was reading my book. Now success looks like figuring out my marketing plan, having a launch that's successful, making books that make me proud is always my goal. But then on top of that, success really does look like having people read and love my books as much as I do. And hard truth number 5, and again, I'm not sure this only applies to indie authors, but those are my friends, and I know this is a fact. Writing is not always fun, and it definitely doesn't always feel easy. That's why I said in one of my videos previously, I think it was 2 weeks ago, having a community around you is going to be huge for your mental health. Writing, marketing, production, all of the things, all of the hats we have to wear are not always fun. Yes, I enjoyed a lot of being an indie author, a lot. And when I sit here, again, I'm so grateful that I'm an indie author. I would not have it any other way. But writing is not always easy. The messy middle is real. The I have no idea how to end this stupid thing is real. The I don't know what to do about this revision, I'm so stuck, I'm just going to quit is real. The I don't know which cover I want to do and I don't like being in charge today is real. It doesn't mean it lasts very long. It doesn't mean I don't have tools to get out of it, because being in this business for a few years, you learn that. But you don't really have anyone behind you. You don't have an agent that you can call. You don't have a team at the publishing firm to tell you which cover is better. You don't, you're releasing some of that control, but then you also maybe would have more fun. I don't know. I'm having a blast, but some days is harder than others. So despite the challenges, being an indie author is pretty cool. I knew back in 2017 when my book was pretty much done and I was getting ready to publish and I was sort of starting to think about the whole process. And I sat down and I really did a pro and con list like Rory Gilmore on the Gilmore Girls, where I wanted to go. And I really did choose this very thoughtfully, very mindfully, and I am really, really happy I went this route. It is literally one of the best things I've ever done, and I wouldn't change a thing. I would not go back and go down the other path for anything. But it can sometimes be a struggle. So if you're an indie author and you are in that stuck place, please let me know in the comments below. Maybe I can make a video to help you. Maybe we can just chat in the comments and we can connect maybe over on Instagram and I can help you out. There are so many people that I think get stuck or that get upset or feel like they've made the wrong choice. And I'm here to tell you, if you have started down the indie path and you're really, really enjoying it and you hit a bad day, it's just a bad day. And I think with that networking, that network of indie author friends or coming to someone you trust, you can get through it and you can see on the other side of the stuck that you made the right decision. Because like I said, writing is not always fun and we all have bad days. And sometimes you have to grumble and complain and threaten to quit. And then you talk to your friend and they talk you down and they help you see something from a different angle. And you go, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that I get to do this. I'm so glad that I get to pivot. I'm so glad that I don't have to go back to an agent to get the information. So if you love writing and if you have a book and you have a passion project and you're ready for it to get out in the world and you don't want to wait to find an agent and you don't want to wait to do the traditional route, I'm here to tell you that yeah, it can be tricky. Yeah, it can be a struggle. It can also be one heck of a fun ride. And I am here to encourage you. So I hope the hard truths just sort of helped ground you into some reality, but didn't stop you. Please don't let the hard truth stop you. If that is the case, please hit me up in the comments below. I will encourage you some more. I will help you get through the stuck day so that you can get to the other side where it's amazing. If you like this video, please hit that subscribe button. I make videos every Friday and I will see you next week.